egg.
There you go.
Nathan, what happened to that light?
Yeah, flicker.
Price hit it with a pillow.
Yeah.
What?
Oh my god.
It
Does
reset
that do
it.
something? Hello?
It's a touch tone light.
Yeah.
Hello?
Price.
I'm doing my part.
It's a
Oh,
little
yeah.
warmer over there now.
Yeah, it is. It's already so warm outside. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know.
Dylan, what temperature do you think it is in here?
In here?
No,
Oh.
don't say a word, you two.
I'm
No.
not saying anything.
In here, it is about 72 to 74 degrees.
I told you! I
It is not hot in
You
here.
thought it was 68.
I thought it was
It's
68.
not.
It's
Bro.
registering 76.
That wasn't surprising.
It's
Yeah.
not 76.
Yeah, maybe
It's not. Yeah, no. 76 starts to get a little balmy.
A little.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
I'm sweating in 76.
brother. I'll tell you right now. I sleep on 63, but the house stays on 69 and 70.
63!
Yeah, I'm-
Jeez.
I didn't
Yeah,
know a
freezing.
thermostat could go that
What
way.
is your AC
Like,
bill?
I don't know
it's
how
gotta
it
be.
pays it.
It's gotta be struggling.
It's
gotta be
it's
fine.
Our
cranking
house
all
has a
the
great
time.
AC. The bill is not that high. I think
Yeah.
like this last one was only 180.
Didn't you just get a new HVAC unit, or was that?
I
the
hope
last
that-
one?
No, it's just been the house.
I would hope that Dylan goes to every vent in his house, but at nighttime and closes them all.
Yeah.
So when he
Just
takes it
one
to 63,
is
Yeah.
it's only the
pumping
one
into
house.
the oh dude.
To be clear,
And you
I'm
can see the current.
I'm freezing at night, and that is not me. Hannah set that tone, and I'm just like, all right, well, if I stay up any longer, I'll just have frostbite, so I'm gonna go to bed.
I might as well
And
sleep
that-
through it.
Yeah, but I won't lie. It has like shifted me to be a cold sleeper. Like before,
Oh yeah.
I get the appeal.
I've slept in like muggy for so long in my like life that like now that it's here, anytime I'm in a place that's too warm, I'm just like not fucking sleeping.
I'd rather die.
I'm like I'd rather be in
I'd
winter.
rather die.
Yeah.
6 fans pointed at me, and if it's 76 degrees.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to another hot and heavy episode of the F Movie Podcast. That'll make sense later. We're your hosts, Mason Price, Nathan, and Dylan. Not in that order this time,
Mhm.
just to keep you on your feet. On today's episode, what are we talking about, Nathan?
Feet.
Ew.
We're not talking about
Helldivers?
Well, yeah, we're not talking about Helldivers.
Uh-huh.
We're Helldivers adjacent today.
Yeah, we are.
We're talking about Starship Troopers. I was gonna say we're not talking about Super Troopers.
Yes.
Which is a shame. I did watch it again because I did not.
No
have
shame.
time.
You know, funnily enough, one of my friends on WoW also was watching it like just this weekend while we were
Starship or Super?
Super Troopers.
Oh, Super. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit different.
It's so good. Anyways.
Yeah, Starship Troopers, a classic for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Strong cult classic. What's it
Who,
about?
Well, just quickly, who's
Oh, yeah.
seen it before?
Oh yeah.
I haven't.
Never seen it.
Oh yeah. So,
we're
middle
like,
of the sandwich
we're
here.
half and half.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Yeah, so this is just like a futuristic sci-fi. Earth's ostensibly united under a military rulership
Mhm.
and like service guarantee citizenship
Yep.
sort of thing, where it's just like you have to be in the military in order to be a part of the like politics of the society. But really what this is about is that humans are being attacked by bugs that live on the other side of the galaxy and are hurling asteroids at Earth
Yeah.
for some reason.
In really cool ways.
Mm.
Um,
Through like black holes and checking them
Yeah.
through that. Yeah.
yeah, and the humans are pissed.
Yeah.
Buenos Aires gets erased from Earth, and
Yeah.
it's time to go to war.
Yep.
Which is really strange too, because like one of the positives of this movie is definitely the fact that like it doesn't give you a whole lot of background. It doesn't say year 20.
Mm-mm.
I don't think it even says a year. does
Never
it?
says
it.
a
Just
year.
it literally throws you into this
Well,
thing.
the funny thing is the opening scene of this
Yeah.
is like halfway through the movie. It opens halfway
Yeah.
through the
Yes.
movie, and then it cuts back to
Yeah.
before. And then like once you get to that halfway point again, it's kind of re-showing the same scene from a different angle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
But the fact that Buenos Aires or whatever is like not it's not English speaking. It's not
Right.
Americanized or anything like that. It is in this movie,
Right.
and it is
Yeah.
very much like
It's just
Oh.
been colonized.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
it's like
what
it doesn't seem like the setting for this in
Yeah.
the beginning would be Buenos Aires.
yeah.
No.
They're
It's
not
just a
speaking
bunch of-
Portuguese. They're
It's just a bunch of very white Americans.
It looks
living
Orange
in,
County, California.
Yeah.
Like through and through.
Which,
Yeah.
I think that's some of the best part of this
I
movie
do too.
is the unspoken world building that it
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
It does
I mean,
it without
the
English.
commercials especially, I mean, that's kind of...
Would you like to know more?
Yeah.
That's kind of spoken, I guess, but just some of the things, like how you see this world function, and they don't expressly tell you, is really cool. And the biggest thing I think is like You have like white and black people just like just there's no divide between them. Women are in power. Like I mean the captain of the big ship that the hot lady drives or whatever is a woman.
Yeah.
And it's and I mean I know we're gonna talk this ad nauseum, but I mean I think the shower scene exemplifies that.
Yes.
Like it's really cool how they have a co-ed shower where everyone's just the same. It's not sexualized, anything like that. And again, it can be sexualized. There's a point later where it's very much sexualized, which is fine. But it's just showing my point that it's cool that there's a lot of unspoken world building because there's a lot of when everything outside of the main plot is my favorite part of this movie, which is my main problem with this movie, is I hate
all the accessories.
I hate the plot. I hate the characters. I hate all of that. But the commercials and like everything around it is so cool that you almost get lost in the fact that these actors are terrible. This dialogue is terrible. Like it's way too long. But the world is so cool that you're so engrossed in it that you're like, all right, I'll put up with it.
It's going to be one of those things that you're not going to like, and it's that on a meta level, I feel like it's kind of meant to be this way.
Right.
And I know you don't like that.
And you don't
sort of
care
thing.
about that, but...
Because they don't do
like
it well enough. The satire is not done well enough for this movie to be labeled a satire. It is not. It is not. Don't you even try that.
I will.
This movie is not a satire enough to... Like, this is not... You cannot ever put this in the same category as like a scary movie where that is a satire.
No,
this is
not nearly.
But this isn't satire comedy. This is satire at like it's. I mean, truly. Let's take the genres out of it.
This is like a satire space action.
Yes.
I feel like it's more. It takes itself way more seriously though. Like I know that there's a lot of comedic parts, but it's still just like it's having fun, sure, but it's also telling a heck of a good story of where, these characters are a little over the top and like. You know,
You say bad, he says good.
Yeah. I don't know. I can hear your satire argument for sure, middle of the couch, but I do think it takes itself more seriously than your average satire type movie.
Sure, but I think that's only because and then I want to wrap the thought on like the argument about satirical or not because I think so much of it is that we're too associated satire with the strictest elements of comedy.
For sure, the most parody of things.
But I would argue that Scream, by all intents and purposes, is also a satire of its own genre, while also doing it very much like in front. It's like it's got a little bit of comedy here and there.
Scream is a typical horror slasher film in a way.
Yeah.
And this is also a
typical
typical
space
space action movie.
To a point where
formulaic, I guess.
Yes, and to a point where it is like yes, our characters are. Very generic, very, more than anything, and I think this is where I want to leap into. The main character...
You got the all-American boy.
Yes, you have literally John Everybody as our main character.
Heck no. He is way too handsome to be John Everybody.
But what I'm saying is
Jesus
it's like...
Christ.
It's
But he is the, stereotypical lead of an action movie like
That's
that.
much better.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
it's not Joe Everyman.
No, it is. No, and what I mean by that is that culmination of, whenever you're like, all right, what do... AI, tell me if we mix match all the faces of all of the actors of this time, all of the action
give him a
actors.
chiseled jaw.
It would look this. It would be this actor. It would be this face.
I still think he's too handsome. He's way more handsome than an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Well, the girl is also way too pretty.
Denise Richards?
Yeah, Denise Richards, and
You mean the Real Housewife of California,
yeah.
Denise Richards? Put some respect on the name, first of all.
Well, I was gonna say, isn't she in
She's an actual
Blue Lagoon? That's Brooke Shields.
That's Brooke Shields. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who was
also
big right then.
And housewife, but not the point. Anyways, at our core we have John Too Handsome Everybody, and then we got Denise Richards, and they're really annoying romance going throughout the through line of the film, and then you kind of just get Barney Stinson. What's his face?
Barney Stinson. I couldn't remember his actual name.
Neil Patrick Harris. There we go.
Harris.
We get Neil Patrick Harris just kind of being
he kind of weaves in a little bit.
He weaves in at the end. The movie forgets about him, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
I
and then they
forget
bring him
about
back
him.
in. Yeah, I think it's intentional. I'm sure because
they did a good job of that because the trio. They were like the trio,
right?
Whenever they broke apart, they all got drafted, I guess, in a weird way, or they signed up for their thing.
They weren't drafted.
They
signed
up.
up.
Yeah.
They literally went 3 separate directions.
So here's some of the parts of the movie that I almost feel bad for critiquing, but I'm going to. It's the movie's really convenient. It's like these characters all enlist in a worldwide government to fight in space, but our three main group and at least a couple of Dez,
Line.
technically also our other side character, side piece of the main character, keep being in the same places at all times, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I've had friends of mine who are in the military, and I haven't seen them for like a decade, so...
And this is a galaxy.
Yeah, and this is the whole galaxy worth of stuff. Also, another really quick part, like, annoyance with at least the character's progress, and I get that, again, it's a little tongue-in-cheek with it, but it is a little like, alright, movie, you're asking a lot from me for Denise Richards, who has never piloted anything, but she was good at math, within the first week or so, becomes the second best, maybe best pilot in the Force.
She's like pulling the ship out of dock.
Yeah.
It's just like a few meters
inch.
away from just hitting
Blindfolded.
it.
Centimeters.
Yeah, that
from
seems
it,
like bad. That
Yeah.
seems like a very bad
That seems
thing.
like, I don't care if you think you're a hot shot. You don't do that
No.
with a ship of that class, of that size. That's risking countless lives.
Meanwhile, John Everyman is getting whiplashed
Yeah.
for his bad basic training
Almost
thing.
getting his head shot off.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
which-
his colleagues are getting their heads shot off.
To be fair, we'll come back to that scene because that one's a good one. But yeah,
Yeah, it is.
like he's getting whipped literally in front of everybody, and then Denise Richards' character is just kind of like smoothly
Cruising through life, literally.
cruising through
While
it.
leading that other guy,
Xander.
leading him
Xander?
on so
God.
hard.
Hey, you know what?
No, she-
Respect for Xander. I kind of liked him.
I was fine with him.
Yeah, I mean, he
No,
like
I
He
don't
had
like
some
it.
ill
there's
intentions.
reason
Yeah.
to not like him in the sense of like he's like coming on to a
Yes,
chick
he's
that
poaching.
Yeah.
he's poaching, but he's not a bad guy
No.
really. He
No,
doesn't
And
feel
she
bad.
leads him on.
she does. It is so much more her than
Absolutely.
him. Like she's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
I
She
think
might
we
have
should
been
do
the worst character in that aspect.
And
of,
she was
like,
she did terrible in this movie.
I think at
she
its-
was a terrible actress. She's
At its
hot.
core,
That's it.
it is like almost every single character that we are faced with, for the most part, are pretty unlikable. But something about John Everyman, really, I just was like, throughout the film, we'll get our side characters, and then our side characters usually die. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm stuck with John Everyman again. Like, and that's like probably my biggest grievance throughout the film is that our main character is so, and probably intentionally so, fucking unlikable. I don't know. Him doing like absurd flips on the football thing, I'm like, all right.
Oh no, he's
All
a
right.
jock. He is
yeah.
a jock.
Could you do that, Mason?
If I was him, I could.
Yeah. I would say I could.
Obviously.
What about
Yeah.
when they're doing the shooting exercise and he goes up to Diz and is like, he's like, I don't know how we're gonna win, and she's like, do a 3-6
Blue
over
32.
32 7 8,
a blitz scan route.
which is
blah,
just
blah, blah.
run at them, do a flip.
Oh, that was
It's-
so much foreshadowing. Like there was
Yeah.
so many callbacks in this movie. It was.
Well, it's like
unreal.
2.5 hours long.
Yeah,
It
that's
has
true.
Plenty of time for
That's
it.
true.
It's 2 and 5. It's not that much longer.
I'm gonna say my favorite callback
Let's
was
see.
I don't know towards the very end, but we can save that for a little.
The credits
for a
roll
while.
at 2:05 before you get some man.
It was
about
only
being
2
too
hours
tight.
long.
I did
Just-
not feel the length of this movie
I did.
at all.
Well, Price usually fills length.
But yeah. So we have our three
It's true.
our three people basically, right? That they just split up, they do their
Yeah.
own thing, and yes, they do intertwine. They come back together
You're
at
right, Dylan.
random
Uh-huh.
parts in the movie.
Yeah.
There's a
But
lot of interesting side characters that
The
fill
side
in.
characters
I
are
like
fun
the,
though.
I like the
The,
side characters.
Ace.
the bleached
Ace.
blonde
Yes,
dude
Ace.
that like plays the fiddle
With the teeth.
and
Yes.
it's like I think it's funny that
He
him
was all
playing the
teeth.
fiddle,
Yeah.
him playing the fiddle comes up multiple times.
The fact that it's in the
Yeah.
fun kit on the
well,
later
yeah,
end of the film
he's
is
got
like,
a
who asked for
plastic
this?
neon green glowing
Yep.
Yeah.
ones. Like there's a bunch of footballs and stuff, and it's like, oh, and the fiddle because I know our boy likes
Yeah.
to play the fiddle.
Well, the
because he doesn't play football. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
Well, it's the
Lieutenant Old Teacher.
Renner's Razorbacks or something. He's like,
Raiders.
you all
Ra-
performed for
yeah.
me, so I performed for you. Here's beer. Here's some football and a fiddle.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, it's like buying war bonds or something. You
And
can
teeth.
support your.
and
Yeah.
Teeth Man is like, all right.
Ace.
His name is
Ace.
And I know we're jumping everywhere, but
Yeah.
man, I love that scene where Diz finally goes up to John Everyman or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, will you dance with me? And he's like, I'm a military man, go away. And then the lieutenant guy is like, I'll give you one piece of advice. You don't let a good thing get away.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, all right, I'll go dance with her. And then he's like, that leads to them about to have sex.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then the lieutenant comes in on them again.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got 10 minutes. Wait, who's under there?
Yeah.
And then she pops out and he's like, you got 20
You got
minutes.
Make it 20, private.
Yeah.
Like, what? It's the most horny lieutenant.
The worst timing, but also like the coolest dude ever. I don't know. I can't
He's,
put
he's
my finger
definitely
on
the
it.
best.
the whole time.
He's the best character
Yeah.
by a mile in this movie.
I don't know. I like Clancy Brown.
Clancy's
a lot.
great too, though.
Whoever like the original lieutenant
Sergeant,
was,
yeah,
the
Clancy.
sergeant guy that's just
Yeah.
screaming at him,
Yeah,
like he was awesome.
That's
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
Clancy
Oh my
Brown.
God.
Yeah.
Well, and him just
He has so
like
many other
somebody
roles.
getting injured, and he's like, medic.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, all
Just
right,
multiple times.
who
through
thinks somebody can
training.
take me down? Snaps the guy's arm.
Yeah, and the biggest guy there is like, I think I can, sir. And then Clancy Brown just puts his head in the dirt and breaks his arm.
I love that too because like he's obviously a pretty bad, intimidating dude, and
Right.
like just the most random big dude in the squadron comes forward. He's like, I think I can, sir.
Mind you,
like
that-
no one's gonna come
This
forward.
is the same big dumb idiot who gets his head blasted off.
Is that the same guy?
It's
'Cause
the
he
same
deserves
farmer
it.
guy. Literally, 15 minutes later in the film,
Yep.
his fucking helmet just
But why does that happen though? Why does his head get blown?
So he has his helmet malfunction while they're at a drill thing.
What
Where
does it mean for your helmet to malfunction?
I don't know.
too,
It
right?
kept-
I mean, it's very like
to him, it
Goose,
kept sliding up
like,
on his head, which was unbelievable to me. That man's head was so big.
Ace's head was the biggest.
Yeah, second to Ace, but his helmet keeps sliding off in the middle of a live exercise.
With
that,
live ammunition.
Yes,
Yeah.
that John Everyman is running because he also
The
our main
squad
characters
leader.
just keep falling up the ladder like
Yeah.
Yes.
immediately.
Yeah,
Like,
big time.
but when apparently the
Well,
system
it-
is if your higher up dies, you just kind of work your way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
you hope for the one ahead of you to die. That
Yes.
way you can just spring.
And trust me, people are dying.
Yes.
So during the exercise, he's like, "Oh guys, my malfunction is my helmet," and he's like, "All right, I'll take it off. Let's see if we can fix it." In the middle of the battlefield,
Yes.
and then the old slippery what's her
Someone
face.
fucking slips and falls and
Yeah.
shoots
Yeah.
the gun.
No, she gets blasted by the laser thing,
Oh,
and
that's
that's
what
what
it is.
stays stuns her, and then she falls over and fucking rips old boy's head off. Which I won't lie, it's just 10 out of 10 comedy, and it's just so good.
Well, they weren't afraid to snipe these characters,
No.
which is cool,
Yeah.
and to make them very explosive and bloody.
Yeah.
Until it was convenient with Denise Richards at the end of the movie.
Oh
Well,
god!
the brain
But
bug
let's say-
needed to eat her brain.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to go too far. I'm just saying,
You mean the
it will-
stab wound of all stab wounds?
Right.
It'll kill side characters, but if they need to be alive for some reason,
Yes.
the movie won't. do
Yeah,
it.
I mean that's
Yeah, the
that-
movie.
this movie is very
Very clear who's got the plot armor.
yeah, it's
Except for John Everyman. He technically dies, gets KI aid. We never get elaborated on why he's considered KI, even though the military literally is healing him, and they know full well that he's alive. And there's no other implications to that.
But
so-
we never
You mean-
see how he got off that planet. Like it's like
You
the
mean-
lieutenant guy says he saved him, but there was a ton of bugs there.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
behind
It was like 100 to 1.
himself.
Yeah.
You mean the only wounded soldier out there? Because they made it very clear to say these things never take enemies. These things are
Yeah.
100% kill rate. Blah blah blah. And then
Uh-huh.
it literally shows him in the green tub
Yeah.
of fluid,
the very next scene
10
after
seconds. Yeah.
the death. No,
But
Well,
let's
and then
get to
very
that
quickly,
planet.
There's like a credits towards the end near the credits. There's commercials that they're doing promoting the
Yeah.
military with these characters in those commercials.
Yeah, in
Yes.
the
Yeah,
full
it's-
circle
I
of
mean,
it.
the convenience of everything for them is astronomical.
Yes. John Everyman will be the general over the whole government in 1 week,
Oh,
based
yeah.
on the time.
At this rate.
He's
Yeah.
going to be a decorated veteran.
If this
that
movie
leads
had a
us
part
in
2,
the
which
world.
Nathan, does this have a part? Is there a
There
second
actually
to
is
it?
a
is.
Starship Troopers 2.
Okay.
I have not seen it.
Okay, I assume
I-
he is
I
the
don't-
leader of the world.
I feel
let's
like
see.
the lack of knowledge of it up until I was going to
Just
watch
not
this
inspire
one.
confidence. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably not a good thing.
I think it's the Hollywood, not even the same director, same crew,
Sure,
same anything.
so
just we took the property.
Couldn't
and made
find
a
a
sequel.
single
Yeah.
remaining cast member
Right.
to play.
There's 3 of them.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. There's Starship Troopers 2, Hero of the Federation, and Starship Troopers 3, Marauder.
Oh shoot!
And the main guy is only in 3. He is not in 2.
Wait, he's not in 2, but he comes back
that's
for 3.
strange.
Apparently.
John Everyman comes back for 3.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Rough Riders. That was the name of the
Yeah,
the military.
The military group that they end up
Oh
in.
yeah.
So, really quick because
Get
we
to
are
blasting, right?
Yeah.
Let's get to these these
the bugs.
awesome
The bugs.
The
I was
bugs are good.
The bugs still look good. Actually,
They look
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
good.
they hold up well.
And like,
yeah.
and the thing
And
that
the
I was talking about,
swarms.
yes,
Yeah.
whenever they were shooting them off into space, like
Oh,
those
the
things
butt
were,
beetles?
whatever
Yeah.
that like cannon contraption, they shoot
Yeah.
2 of them right away with the best nuke you'll ever find. By the way,
Yeah.
the only weapon I want in this movie are those like
Davy Crockett
javelin,
warheads.
missile things that they have to load into their little rocket launcher things. Those are the only efficient gun
Yeah.
in this whole thing.
All the other
they were
guns are-
shooting blanks, and they were shooting thousands.
Yeah, I mean, they
Of
were,
blanks.
like,
Yeah.
pretty
Into
much
one.
every bug could take hundreds of bullets.
And where
from
were the
regular
clips?
gun.
Like these
Oh,
guns,
yeah,
I
this
don't-
movie
are they
didn't-
plasma? Like, what
Space,
are they?
space stuff. They will
It's
run out of
nuts.
bullets though, but they're like the guns are just made of bullets based
I
on how many bullets
guess.
they fire. Right? Like,
They didn't have to reload a single time, which is fine. I don't mind the lore,
no.
but it's like,
No, they reloaded one time, and on the
yeah, they said
on the
make
fortress
it count.
one. Yeah, on the fortress one where they are like wildly outnumbered and trapped at
Yes.
the end, they do have to.
Yeah, it's
reload.
like once it's clear that they can't possibly have that many
Come out.
supplies,
Right,
that's whatever
yes.
plot-wise, they're like, well, we should probably mention that they have limited resources.
Yes, let's give them less ammo in this scene only
Yeah.
because they are firing at everything.
Overall, though, speaking of the bugs in general, I think that they're executed really well.
Yeah.
They come off as like actually threatening. Like I'm not saying it's like I felt tense or anything like that, but
Yeah.
like they're every time they come out, it's just like ah shit, new boss fight. Like
Yep.
it gets that good if you're playing a video game and you're playing through it and then you fight something that's like a sick boss fight and you're like oh yeah, I'm like I can't wait to tear up into that thing. It has that momentum in the movie, and I think that's like it translates really really well for me as far as just the overall pacing, because the big one with the flamethrower
that
that
thing
melts
was
the
cool.
girl's
The
arm.
beetle, yeah.
Yeah.
The tanker.
Yeah, the tank beetle
The thing that he surfs on for about 30 seconds
Yeah.
until he like
just nukes the
sends the
belly.
nuke in there. No, he
Well,
does
it's just,
damage.
it's just
Yeah.
a grenade.
Like
Yeah.
he's Legolas or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I love the bugs in this. I did. I love how much they swarmed.
Yeah.
Like just when you thought that they were finally outnumbered, they were just like, no, there's plenty of holes in this planet that they're gonna just sprout out.
The
of.
last peak whenever they're leaving the fortress, and it is just
Yes.
miles of little ones, a handful of big like burner beetles
Yup.
and all these other ones, and it's
Well,
just
they're
like,
coming from underground
I
too.
know.
Like you never.
You
They're like a
gotta
trimmer.
wonder with this planet, like, what are these bugs living off of?
Right.
And
But I
can
mean,
you not nuke
whenever
the
you-
whole thing?
Yeah.
Like just
yeah, like
blow that
well,
shit
they even
up.
mentioned at one point glassing the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They don't have any resources there that they
I'm truly
want.
surprised they haven't at the like the.
That's in the second one.
Maybe, yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say maybe
They
in
just
the
straight
later
nuked
movies.
the second one,
Which
right?
which is another failure in my opinion of this movie is that like because the whole time we as the audience are feeling like this is feeling like some kind of unjust war. They get little crumbs in there that like the newscaster at one point says to somebody, which the newscasters were hilarious.
Yeah.
Which the newscaster is like, some say if we just left them alone that this would all be over,
Yes.
and like it's just glossed over, which is fine. But at the same time, we don't know why they're there. It doesn't seem like the bugs really have any form of intelligence. The brain bug
The brain bug really
seems
gets
like
them.
it maybe could counter that, but
If
we don't know
they're-
anything
If
about
they're
it.
throwing asteroids, they have to have a pretty massive amount of intelligence.
But we don't
to
see
counter
anything.
No,
we
we-
see no
yeah.
sign of intelligence. The bugs have no sign of intelligence.
They're attack.
They never even say in the movie why the Federation is fighting them. Like even if they just said a pass line of like there's oil on that planet. I'd be like, oh, okay, that makes total
we
sense.
want that.
When they
We
want the
want
resources
oil.
on that planet.
I'll tell you a really strong reason to fight the bugs.
Mm-hmm.
Because it unites all of humanity against a common enemy.
Yeah. If we
And this
that
movie
that
was-
on its own
Yeah.
justifies.
But
This
the movie
was
never- but the movie never-
oozing unity.
But the movie
yeah.
never said that.
No, but it comes back to this idea of the movie wanting you to think about, like, why would they want you to ask questions and not have to give you the answer about it? Because when they answer it, it's usually worse than just.
But just like
theories.
earlier too, Price, where it's like Buenos Aires is just
Yeah,
an
I mean, to be fair, they
Americanized
just
area.
nuked-
Like you're just putting that on the screen.
They
and you're
nuked
just
L.A. and now it's
okay.
like, all right, well, what would we have done at this time? And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we did
Oh
in
God,
2001.
we'll
we
put
went
a
to
boot
war.
in your ass.
We did.
Exactly.
We did the U.S.
Well,
of war.
buy war bonds,
Yeah.
join the citizenship,
And
guaranteed
the,
citizenship.
The other thing too is like if you really want to dig into the idea of that, it's like, you know, it's also if the bugs weren't throwing the asteroids, it's also very possible that like humans were kind of, self-sabotaging in order to justify a war for like territorial
It's
claims.
the Helldivers lore overall that it's like
but
there's
we don't
always
know that.
a war. Well,
Again,
I'm not saying that it's Helldivers doesn't tell us either. It's
we're
the same
talking about
implication.
why, like it's
Right.
very much left up to interpretation of the audience as to like why the world is the way that it is.
Right, and it makes sense that a world government that is a military is perpetually finding a new war every single time. Which makes me wonder if 2 and 3 does bring in like robots like Helldivers. Like, does it start
when
to be
things are
number
too
one?
peaceful, something's has to happen. It
Yeah,
has to happen.
like-
For a military dictatorship to continue, there probably needs to be
You need an
justification for,
Right.
for conflict.
You can't turn the war machine off. Like, once it's on, like, you will continue the war.
Yeah.
Right, so...
but yeah, like, can we get back into Neil Patrick Harris just coming back in as a super suit? You know?
As a
He's-
super psychic?
As a psychic?
Yes.
He worked his way up, too,
Which
just
is
like everybody else.
my favorite foreshadowing, my
Mhm.
favorite callback in this entire thing when he's like trying to find Denise Richards or whatever.
Well, whenever he's like, I feel like she's here.
I
I just
know.
have a feeling. I know.
just have a feeling.
No.
Yeah. And through the Force.
Yes.
Literally, Neil Patrick Harris reaching out and he's like, oh, yeah, you picked that one up. Huh? And the movie was like, oh, don't do that to me.
Like, I'm not good enough to do that
yet. Yeah.
I can't do that to humans.
It's
yet.
playful and fun, but overall, I do think it was just like, if we're talking about the end of the movie, and really quick, I'm going to bookmark shower scene. We're going to come back to that again real quick.
Sure. You
But-
have to.
I have to. But at the end of the movie, it does, like, I'd be remiss to say, man, we ran through that ending in the last 10 minutes of, like, plot-wise, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're sitting in war for, like, an hour plus, you know.
It feels like it.
It's, like, hour lead up back to where we started in the movie, and then we're in the war part for another hour. And then the last 10 minutes is, brain bug! And then they're like, we got him!
Yeah, like there's a little bit of foreshadowing of it, them being like, well, we think there might be like a brain bug or something, and then like a little bit of like dialogue with some people on a talk show, just be like, there's no way there's a brain bug. They're not smart.
Which that news hits a little too close to home. 2024.
And poor Xander got
he
absolutely
got brain bugged.
Yeah, strawed, sucked up.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do. You know what I've
He got
realized?
sucked up.
He got sucked up.
I don't like the. I don't like
Somebody
Zuck
suck me.
Suckor. It's the same thing as the
the water.
So
movie.
that's
the
also
water bottle.
Tank Girl.
Talk about Tank Girl. Talk about types of like gore I don't like. I don't like suck gore. That's
But it was a little strange. It's definitely like a.
I don't like a brain drink. That's a hard pass.
And to be honest, like, sure, this brain bug knows how to do stuff, and he's acquiring intelligence through that.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that brain's worth a damn thing.
No, that guy's brain
If
is
it's like,
shit.
well, no, I'm just saying if it's like sucked up in a tube that's like
Right.
yay wide, like, I mean, we as scientists, you know, like, we have to like take the whole
Like
thing,
that.
put it on ice, you know, do the whole thing.
But
look, it's very easy to just say like, oh, through the magic of the way they're
that's
evolved.
true.
right.
Like the
I mean,
reptile
there is
things.
really a lot of crazy stuff even on this planet.
Yeah.
On like the way like organisms will like incorporate each other into themselves.
That's
like
true.
the whole thing with like
And evolve.
some things will like take chloroplast from plants and put it into themselves, even though they're animals. Like there is definitely room for something like this.
A
to
whole
exist.
different evolution system.
Yeah.
I loved after they captured the brain bug and it showed the commercials of how they're studying the
And it's
brain
just
bug.
censored with drilling its face. Yeah.
I felt so bad for that poor thing.
I know, that
It's just
poor- that
sticking
poor brain
chainsaws
bug.
into it. Like, what happens here?
I do think it's an interesting point of note though, where it's like again they make a point in like one of the earlier classes. It's the one where Denise Richards like vomiting and stuff. But the person's like, no, we thought we were the intelligent ones, and here we are going on, and everybody says like, yeah, but we figured out space travel, and it's like, so did the fucking bugs. Like, you hurl asteroids, but you know what? Call for what it is. They figured out space travel.
And they also were about to, like, what I thought was going to be dissect Xander and her, because that was a perfect callback to the biology course,
Right,
where
it
they
would've
were,
been great.
taking the beetle apart or whatever.
Well,
it was.
and they definitely have more than just asteroid travel or something, because
Yeah.
they're
Sitting
like they
up
talk
through
about how
black
they live
holes.
on multiple planets.
Yeah.
So these things had to have spread
Mhm.
from wherever they originated.
I want to play this race in TI.
You can. It's that red one that gets +1 on rolls.
Yeah.
I want to play the real
That's
one
it.
though.
The
I want
Sardoc?
I want the brain bug. That's who I want as the little
You want
commander.
to play the brain. So you want to play like a more tactical thing.
Yeah,
less,
I want to play a tactical brain bug. But
Okay.
anyways, to start to wrap out, I want to touch the shower scene really quickly because Yeah, I mean, I think we hit the hammer on the nail, or hammer on the nail. There we go.
Hit the hammer with a nail.
There we go. However that phrase goes, nail on the head. Overall, with the yes, it's the inclusive thing. It's nudity done just right. It doesn't need to be sexualized. It's just like, hey, everything's casual and great and wonderful. But I come back to saying this, and this is now back-to-back movies with like really incredibly good nudity usage, which is just saying like, all right, it's just camaraderie. It's just like, all right, we're not making it super sexual. And then later, Des pops her top off.
There's the sexy one.
Well, to be fair, Des does pop her top off when they're having sex, but, again, overall, just greatness overall. Everybody had their boobs and butts out. No dongs, they did cover that up. Rude.
Yeah, I thought so too. It's like the women are showing
full command.
You could have had Ace show his stuff.
Yeah, Ace.
He was showing off a lot.
Ace looked like the kind of guy who would.
Yeah, I would have.
They did smack John Everyday's butt on the way out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, but that's just. I mean, I'm like, you can't resist the urge when you're in a shower locker room with
a girl
a bunch
that
of
did it too.
I know,
which was really funny.
What's even the best part about it, right?
Yes.
Is that like it wasn't a dude, it wasn't the big beluga guy who gets his head blown off. It is literally just a random
smacking
girl.
the girl's butt. Like it was literally the opposite. It's everything, and everyone was laughing.
The gender roles and the wholesomeness of the shower scene, I think, is even still criminally underrated by like us in this podcast and everybody else. But
it's not earth-shattering. I mean, it's good.
No, for 99, it's really good.
Earlier, yeah.
Period piece on that one. We didn't start to get that good of
it's
nudity
impressive.
Usage. It is.
It's impressive because what we had just said towards the beginning of this podcast, where we're like, wow, this world building happened in this amount of time.
Yeah.
And you're just in it.
Trivia for that, though, is that the director had a hard time getting that scene shot. So he had everyone leave except like the camera guy or something like that.
Didn't he have to shoot it nude?
And no, the John Everman or whatever and Diz, like the girl and the guy had to get naked first because everybody was like, I don't want to, like I'm shy.
Yeah.
And then they did. It was like, what's the big deal? And everybody else decided to.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a peer pressure. Once I see someone else do it, I'll do it.
Yeah. And I mean, once you have those two, it's like you're not gonna look.
Nobody's looking at us.
You get to look at them, so just go ahead.
John Everman and what's her name? And she's
Dizzy.
Actually, yeah, but I don't know her actual actress name.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't recognize her in like 16 different scenes. Like at the beginning, she had curly hair, and then she shows up. She was the quarterback.
Yes, she was.
Yeah,
in the arena football.
I didn't catch that.
Every time the helmets come on, I'm like a little like, which person is this?
And then she shows up to boot camp in her hat, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? And then it's like, then I think she's at the bunk bed scene, and then like maybe she doesn't have her whole getup on, and I'm like, holy hell, she's been here this whole time.
Is this where we find out Mason's actually face blind? Like,
that's what I'm saying. They did a number on her. It was the helmet though in the arena football, which was another gender thing. Like, it was a co-ed.
It was co-ed, no questions asked.
Ooh, speaking of questions, I got a question for this movie.
Okay.
All right.
Who thirsted harder, her or the guy from It Follows?
That's a good one.
Her?
I think her because he's passive on it. Like he's hanging out there. He will be a friend until she dies.
Yes.
But
until he gets devoured by the
she knows
follows.
He's with Denise Richards, and she's just like, but we fucking
yeah.
Like they are literally dancing, and she's like
also joins the service to follow
him.
The infantry of all.
I think we finally met our match. I think we
have
her.
too.
We finally found the thirstiest character in our movie podcast, and it's
no
Des.
Sense.
Because the biggest criteria to join that crew is: are you going for your person, knowing that you're gonna die?
Yes, and she died way worse.
Oh yeah,
she got. I mean, he didn't even die yet. I don't know. It Follows 2 is coming out soon. So, but yeah, she's. My favorite. Okay, other favorite part, really quickly. She gets impaled by the fucking bug thing. They kill the bug, and their idea is like, let's just rip the thing out. And I'm like, brother, no. That's
that's the worst.
Like that's the worst. She's gonna. That's so much blood.
That
the
thing was like this big around.
Yeah.
Which is what Denise Richards had at the very end too. Yeah. She had a fucking spike through her this big.
She had girth mastered the bug.
It was just through like.
It was her shoulder.
It was just a shoulder.
Like in most movies, you survive right.
Yeah.
If you're stabbed right.
If you plan on keeping that character around, you do put it up here.
That is a wound that at least in movie lore,
it's scare wounds.
Do not die from.
Yeah.
It's his flesh wound.
Right.
I used to be an adventurer once.
Des, on the other hand, took it like right through the guts.
Ooh, yeah, it was bad.
Which she already got one earlier from John Everman. Am I right, boys?
A couple times. We don't know.
Which another cool death scene
Yeah.
was the lieutenant when it fell underneath him, and then he got his legs nibbled.
You know
off,
what to do.
And then he's like, "Yeah, I do."
Just do it.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad he popped him because at first I was like, I don't remember if he pops him or not. And he was like, oh no, he pops him.
Yeah.
A little too enthusiastically, if I'm being honest. Like,
That was
He
his
wasn't
chance.
happy.
I know he
wouldn't
wasn't.
say it
He's
was-
like,
I think he said like, "Oh, a promotion."
I know what to do, buddy.
There's a position opening.
Yeah. Well, I know how this military works, and I'm
Yep.
currently at the top of the ladder because the person above me who punched him or whoever. No, she punched Ace. Got her arm all fizzled by a burner beetle. So
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
girth, Dylan?
the girth
The fitness.
being, is it thin, is it thick, or is it perfectly fit?
Yeah.
Mason, you tell me. What is it?
This movie was fit as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was so.
Is this John Everyman?
It was
fit?
clean.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was chiseled. I
Yeah.
mean, it was everything you needed. You needed the Denise Richards and Xander flirtiness because Denise Richards. Here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
You're not gonna go after a girl like this, and if you do, you're gonna just end up hurt because she's not gonna take you seriously, right? She's
Yeah.
just gonna flirt with you, the next guy, and
That's just who
nothing
she
serious.
is.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think every scene just about was very well deserved in this movie. I mean, I was gonna say my score will reflect other things, but as far as
Okay.
scenes,
Oh.
well, I just mean you
He's
needed
foreshadowing,
this,
just
you
like the
needed
movie
the
did.
scenes on the bug planet. You needed a lot of this stuff all throughout. You needed the dialogue in the bunk bedroom.
If you had to edit this film, you're like, I don't know where I cut. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's clean though. I think you needed just about everything. It did not waste your time. I don't think. Wait until the very last person on this couch, and then you'll really know.
Yeah, so I would say it's pretty fit overall. The only things I'm I could have really probably trimmed down are and we don't even get him that much, but the little bit of time we get of John and his parents, and it just reinforcing that Harvard baby Nepo style mentality.
Dude, if he had stayed, he would have got nuked. Movie's over.
I know.
You know?
Yeah.
So he really won out on that one, but also
Well, no, he would have been at Harvard.
yeah, but then there
that's
is world.
right.
And this is what I hate about the necessity of it. They talk about Harvard and things like that, and it does show that there are other options to the world other than just being a citizen soldier.
Give me a Columbian university because
Well, it
you're
also
due
shows
north.
that there is dissension in the population a little bit because his
Yeah.
dad does not seem very keen on the whole military
Yeah.
and being a citizen and having voting rights and stuff.
He's who cares? We're rich and we can do
Yeah.
whatever we
He
want.
seems to have a pretty great life as a civilian.
Right.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do this citizenship?
Yeah. So overall, I would say it's pretty fit. The only other scene that's worth noting on the quick pass over is whenever they're getting enlisted. And the guy's like, I was infantry, and he'll be like,
You
man, I am
and he has
today.
no
It's
legs,
just no legs,
missing
and
an
a robot
arm. Yeah,
He's seriously the Black Knight from Monty Python.
he
Yeah.
absolutely is. I just wanted to reference him before we go.
That's a good point.
Because that's a good scene.
It is.
Anyways.
Wasn't he also a famous actor too?
He
He looked
Yes.
really familiar.
Isn't he the guy from Breaking Bad?
What? Oh, you're talking about Dean Norris. You're getting your people mixed up.
Am I?
He's talking about the recruiter who they signed the paper.
yeah,
with.
yeah.
Dean Norris is the general or whatever.
Yeah.
who's
Right,
like,
yeah.
You signed the paper, so you can't leave.
He's
and
the
Mr.
one at the
Krabs is
base.
like, I didn't see nothing.
Rip.
Oh my God, Clancy Brown has so many other roles. Anyway, Nathan, go ahead.
I mean, I'd say it's pretty fit. The only thing that's weird with this movie is, I mean, it runs for a while, but also it's a very abrupt ending. It's
Yeah,
just
it
we
is.
found the brain bug. All right, movie's over.
We
Yeah.
basically won
Like,
everything.
It
Yeah.
really feels like there could have been more here, but also from I guess a director's perspective, it's just well, I've told what I wanted to tell.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
gotta
I don't
wrap
want to
up.
I'm not gonna wax poetic about anything in this movie.
Right.
We're just gonna end. And yeah, I mean that's fine. I
And they
guess.
commercial us out. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's very fat. I don't know
I
why
knew
that-
it.
Ah, Brain Bug
Actually,
fat.
It doesn't the training at the beginning and the love story is not needed. It takes so long to get into the actual movie. It can't the movie can't decide if it's going to be a satire of fascism and what all that can entail, or it can't
Uncle
decide.
Sam wants you.
Or if
Yeah.
it can't decide if it wants to be a love story, military kind of drama. It can't make up its mind, so we get both of them, which leads to a 2-hour runtime when it is not justified. I saw them pump millions of bullets into these dang bugs. I saw them do it once, and then I saw them do it 1,000 other times. I don't need to see them try to do that a million times. It was cool the first 10 times, but then they just kept doing it. This movie could easily take another at least 45 minutes out.
No.
To
You
just
don't-
be
You
around.
can't make this an hour and
you don't-
15 minutes.
You don't need the three friends. You don't need Denise Richards. You don't need Neil Patrick Harris.
No,
you don't need them.
Yeah.
You don't need somebody in every sect of the military. You don't. Like, they all have their explicit purpose that you obviously get right away. You don't need an inside track. Like, there's also another scene where John Everman at the beginning is with Neil Patrick Harris trying to learn how to be a psychic. And that goes on for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't care. And Neil Patrick Harris doesn't even come in till like he doesn't do anything. Like, that scene isn't needed at all. It's way too long.
No, I like seeing him be a psychic with a weasel. That was necessary to the plot.
That was cool.
Yeah.
How'd you get him to go away? Oh, I told him that there's a bug on my mom.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad that's in the movie. That helps the story.
Cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the scene of all the little kids crushing the cockroaches?
See, that was
Yeah.
funny. That's part of the fascism thing that they're going for.
Yeah.
With the mother laughing maniacally over them.
Uh-huh.
Like, those were perfect. The commercials were easily the best part of the movie. Like, just saying all the crazy stuff that's going on was that was the best part for me.
Okay, I got a quick question just for Price. Price, did you like Helldivers 2?
That's a leading question, Your Honor.
No. Answer the question. Answer the question.
I like the tone of Helldivers 2, but no, as a game, I didn't enjoy the gameplay and everything. I like the tone, though. I think that intro movie or cutscene is amazing, which could have been a commercial
Yeah.
in this movie.
Could have been 45 minutes shorter.
This movie is retroactively the best Helldivers 2 like advertisement you can possibly get. But all right, I just wanted that on record. Anyway, Mason, let's get into scores.
Yeah.
We gotta let the fans decide whose opinion they trust, and that felt like that was a vital piece of information. That's my case, Your Honor. Mason, you may proceed.
So I'm glad that Price said all of that because I'm actually on the opposite side where I love the love triangle that they're actually putting in here because it gave you more than just blasty bullets into blasty bugs. It gave you way more to just root for. And I'm going to be honest, I was actually rooting for both of these relationships
Both dudes were
throughout.
viable.
Yeah. Like Denise Richards being the final one is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
But like it's fine. Like I appreciated that. And the Neil Patrick Harris thing, the only reason he was in there is because, like, I think of it as the Divergent series. Like, you have these different factions, and, like, yeah, you're going to know people from other places, and you're going to come together, guess what, in the finale.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's just the same type vibes. You know, it's fine to have a friendship and relationships in these types of movies. But the issues that I had with this movie, the tech there for these bullets was stupid. I mean, you're
That's
telling
not surprising. Mason's biggest
Yeah.
beef is the guns.
It's ridiculous. They are dropping quantities of army,
Yeah.
soldiers down, and they can't do a damn thing.
Uh-huh.
They might as well be fist fighting these things.
Yeah.
They
You're
might as well
right-
be
you're right.
piling on and just ripping them apart if they can.
Yeah, but the nuke's impractical because then with their
And then the
speed-
nuke is way too powerful. Like
Yeah.
that's what I do not like that about this movie the most. Second most is some of those like cutscenes that you guys actually really like, the commercials and stuff. I thought some of them were a little silly, like because what they thought they were doing was really smart at the time because it was like Windows 95 like web page continue
Yeah.
blink, and then like a cursor that's very much automated.
I mean, this movie was filming
It's old
probably
as
around
dirt.
96, 97
For
to
sure,
be fair.
makes
so.
sense. It makes sense. It's just some of those things are the only critiques that I have for it. This movie is an 8. It is an 8.
Yeah.
It is so good. I appreciate the
Interweaving.
interweaving of all of the characters. I love it. The lieutenant or whoever he is, he might be a colonel, the one who like
The
teaches the
teacher,
class and then he
yeah.
comes in.
Oh yeah, sergeant
Fantastic.
teacher. Yeah.
This world is so freaking small, and it makes no sense. I love that it's what, Argentina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Argentina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just randomly.
Our hub
LA?
base. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense, but I'm in for it. It's
Okay.
fine.
Can you chill out?
I think it's a lot of fun. And this movie, I didn't know anything about it going into it, but it's probably one of my higher Nathan movies.
It may be the highest Nathan.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's the highest, dude.
What's
There's
the highest?
Cube is up there. I
Oh,
really
shit,
like
yeah, Cube is
Cube.
He also
Cube.
gave The Matrix a pretty good
Dude, The
score.
Matrix.
Oh, Matrix
will,
is better.
I think
will
he gave it
probably
like a
be
9.
9.5. I'm
9.5
pretty
is
sure.
going to be as high as it gets. But
I
It's-
yelled at you in the basement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
'cause
guys
you're
were like,
wrong.
well, I don't know. It looks kind of dated. I'm like,
Whoa,
it's
you
not
guys-
the
I
Matrix.
never
Be
said that.
clear
You
who's-
said it.
I
I
did
said the
You
only
said,
thing
yeah,
that
the
was.
CGI is just not quite there for the time.
Yeah.
Just necroing this
Pull up the
post.
clip. I
Anyways,
don't believe you.
it is an 8. It is a very solid movie. And if just a couple of those points were a little bit different, this would have gone up a whole point for me.
Oh my god.
It's so good. It's so fun.
You're so wrong.
No.
The bugs, the beetles that launch nasty saliva, basically. It was like napalm.
It'd have a flamethrower.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It
You
wasn't
wouldn't be a
an
fan of those bugs if you played Helldivers.
Yeah, those ones are fucking annoying.
They're bad.
You would love Helldivers after watching this movie.
You would.
I could see the
You
the
would.
correlation
It's
to
so
it.
it's so dumb fun. Anyways,
Why don't you borrow my Steam Deck?
more Helldivers for
Have
later.
fun.
We should have been playing that while
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this would have been a great time to bring back the
Oh, it
playing
would
games
have.
with movies ones.
Yeah.
Just record some footage of me playing.
Yeah, just throw it over it.
Just throw it in.
Yeah.
Nathan doesn't have time for that kind of stuff anymore.
It's just yeah, that's
Just need
true.
an upload.
Oh, yeah. This movie actually may be an 8. Yeah. I was actually hovering around 7.5. I won't lie because man, I really do not like
We
John
gotta pump
Everybody.
these numbers up.
But on fun level alone, you're right. Like this movie is just it's just really enjoyable. It's one of these dumb movies I can just throw it in the background of like doing much of anything, and I'm kind of just glad to be there. Like I'm gonna be tuning in a lot. Like I'm gonna be turning away, tuning in, and I'm not missing much, but that's fine. Like there's a charm to a movie that can do that. This is this has to be an 8. The nudity is great. It's used very tastefully and then just purposefully. Dez is the thirstiest character in here, and I think that's
That's a good
that
question,
deserves its own
Price.
accolade in
Good
itself.
job, Price.
Yeah, good job, Price.
You finally
You did your part.
You
So-
took down the
I
game.
did. I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
Because you won't agree with me later.
That's true. You're doing your part now and saying that you
I'm
know
doing my part.
Dez may be the most accoladed, thirstiest character of characters we've seen in this entire podcast, and that says a lot because we've watched a lot of movies now.
What about Amy Smart being like the random co-pilot?
Who is
Amy,
that?
Amy Smart is the co-pilot. She's from
She's in
Road Trip.
Yeah, she's in Road Trip. She's in what's
Didn't
that
we watch a
Ashton
movie?
Kutcher movie? The Butterfly
Yeah,
Effect.
she's the
She's
yeah.
like the blonde.
she's the blonde one from that
love
one.
interest.
Yeah. Road
Yeah.
Trip's the one first that comes to mind. I've
That's
seen the
where
movie
I've
like
seen
100 times for no good reason.
Yeah, I've seen the Butterfly Effect.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyways, the movie's just really fun. Really, it has some there's some conveniences of dumb, but the dumbness of it is balanced by the funness of it, and that's kind of the sweet spot. I like not having to think too hard about it, but it does have deep implications if you do think about it. So yeah, 8. That feels right.
Yeah.
Nathan.
Or Price.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, Price go
Oh,
first. Yeah, sorry, it is your
Works
pick,
for me. I don't agree. It's the same point that I was just making a second ago with the fatness of this movie. That this movie is 2 different movies at the same time, and I think it does one of those well, and I think it does the other ones very poorly. I think that it does the tone pretty well, but I don't think it does the plot well at all. I think the campiness and the kind of over the topness is good, but then also at the same time it tries to be dramatic. I mean, they even have a funeral for Diz for some reason. There's over 100,000 dead in 1
because he
hour.
had
But
sex
just
with her.
yeah.
But just
I'm
she
general
gets a
now, so
funeral.
this one
Yeah.
this one gets a special.
We're gonna
one.
get a burial.
But my brother was blown apart in front of me.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Don't
Yeah,
care.
but she
Did I
blew
have
me
sex with
apart
him? I don't
before.
think so.
yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Military. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is a good popcorn watch. I don't really have much else to say about it. I don't want to keep talking about this movie. To me, it's a 4.5. It's not.
Oh, so you could say it's pretty good.
It's fine. It's just a little bit below average for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Was
I
it
don't-
better
I don't
than
hate
what you
it.
expected?
No, it's about where I thought it would be.
Okay.
Honestly, I didn't have high expectations for this at all.
Yeah. Nathan.
Yeah, I mean it's good. All the little insert scenes and stuff are entertaining. Yeah, I mean, I would like to just see more movies like this made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is what I say about a lot
of your
of
movies.
all your movies.
Yeah. The movies I like, I would like more of
I
that.
would like more of that,
please.
please.
The thing is, I like movies of an era that has passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily,
You were
there
born in
were
the
a
wrong
lot
time.
of movies made during that time. So
For
it's
better or
fine.
worse. Yeah.
Like, you can say I was born at the wrong time, but no, if you're born
No.
after that time,
You can
you
go
still get to go
can
back and
absorb.
absorb everything that happened
Yeah.
at your own pace.
Now you
So
don't have to
it's-
wait.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd probably land at an 8.5 with this one.
That fits.
It's solid. It's very entertaining. It just makes me want to play Helldivers.
Yeah, it does.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's like you're saying, it's a great commercial for Helldivers.
Yeah,
too.
I'm like annoyed that we're not playing it right now, and I don't got time to till like next week. But
Yeah.
we're gonna pick that back up, Mason. We're gonna get you to price a Steam Deck.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
play
you
it on
probably would like it. It's very...
Just MMO
Just don't
or...
fight the automatons.
No,
you
right,
would
that-
probably not enjoy fighting the automatons.
Fighting the robots suck, but the bugs are a great time.
Yeah.
So all the humans are on the same side though. Like
Yeah.
there is no like free
It's
for
not
all
like
with
it's
other
not Call of
bullshit.
Duty. It's you
is-
against the
It
world.
is it is only co-op.
Yeah.
There is friendly fire, but it is only
Oh.
co-op.
You can blow off your
Just
friend's
like
head
this
just
movie?
like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And trust
Yeah,
me,
like,
you will.
Well, like, if you... So, after having watched this movie, if you play Helldivers 2, you're going to be like, oh, they lifted
Everything.
so much
Yeah.
from this movie
this,
into this
okay.
game.
It is I'm not exaggerating when I say this. It is literally this movie, the game.
Yeah.
That's it.
Dang.
Yeah.
I want to see the
Except
second
you also
one.
throw in a little bit of, like, Terminator.
Yeah.
Okay,
They throw
yeah.
some Terminators because
You
the
said
killer
robots,
bugs. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, that's our quick preview for the Helldivers one. But we've got one more thing to do, and that's a spin
That...
wheel.
Ooh, you guys did well there.
Nathan, you wanna?
That's a good spin.
It was a great spin.
It was
That
a
was
great
a good spin. What we got, Nathan?
Oh, I did not wipe that away from last time.
Ooh, you get your pick.
Oh,
You got your pick. Wait, so
I-
you would pick an arrow, which
well,
would
I
go.
would have gone this way because this is 4-player game.
Okay,
So,
Nathan likes
Nathan
anime.
likes anime now.
Yeah. Does anyone have a guess? Dylan, you should have a good
I
guess.
should, but I've been so bad about
But
guesses
first,
recently.
the tomato meter.
The tomato meter. What
Oh.
do people think about this movie?
72% along with the audience at a 70. Just so you guys know.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm gonna
What
pick.
what
I'm gonna
does
pick.
Starship Troopers 2 look like?
Yeah,
That's a good
I'm
question.
curious.
I got you.
Before you pick,
I had a good segue for that.
Sorry.
Did you?
Yeah.
Time has
no,
passed.
It's already over.
Oh, it's gone.
Starship.
Troopers
Dude, there's
2.
so many.
There's a bunch.
Starship Troopers.
33%.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
Oh,
yeah.
that's the critics. The 12% from the audience.
So
Oh,
when the
wow.
audience likes it less, that's
That's
yikes.
bad.
The
That's
third
pretty
one's bad too.
They bring it back on the third one. The audience is 19%.
And then the tomato meter's almost 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll
Pretty
know if
rough.
I'll look that one up.
We may not need to.
Pretty
Anyways,
rough.
So on the complete opposite side of the tomato meter, we are going to be watching some of the TV shows Cyberpunk 2077.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
As a show?
The
Yep.
show. Yeah. I forget about the TV
That's-
shows
that's
on
my
the screen.
show.
Yeah.
Wait, is it on like Netflix?
It's
It's
on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Is it new? Like it's
newer.
the one that they
Last
came
year.
out with, right?
Yeah. Came out last year. Yeah.
I don't remember anything from that.
You will. You'll remember this one song. It's good.
Huh.
And then, yeah. So, but it's first 4 episodes.
Is it anime?
Cyberpunk or Cyberpunk Edge Runners?
Yeah. Are they? I forget. They're like 45-minute episodes.
I don't know. I'm trying to find that right now. Actually, you won't care.
Yeah. Either way, it's the first.
We're gonna
We're
find
gonna
it out.
watch what
First
we're
3 or
gonna
4
watch.
episodes of Cyberpunk. Anyways, make sure to tune in next week for that. In the meantime, look at my beautiful glow. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I was wondering if you were to comment on that. You were ascending.
You are
I know.
transcending.
Somebody died, and it's time for me to go be general. Until next time, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Unless we're still at 69 subscribers, then you know the fucking rules.
Last time I checked, we still were there.
All right,
Alright.
don't subscribe.
You guys know what to
Holding
do.
on strong.
Hold strong.
As
69.
long as we don't upload anything, that won't change.
Yep. So
Which is looking like the case.
This is just like this movie. If you subscribe, you have to kill somebody else
Yes.
to gain their position.
you have
into
to
that
gain.
69.
We have got our perfect amount of subs. You must
Yes.
kill the other sub to take their spot.
Yes.
Make sure to hit the bell. And until next time, guys, we will see you then for Cyberpunk 2077.
Edge Runners.
Sorry, yeah, Edge Runners. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, start the game. Games and movies recently with us, huh?
Yeah.
Bye.
How about that?
Yeah.
So the episodes are 20 minutes long. So 4
That's what I thought.
episodes.
Yeah, it should be about 4
Fun.
episodes.
Okay.